Alright, so what's the plan for today?
We're gonna make some mods to the Dirtboard setup. We've determined that we can narrow these axles up and potentially improve the ride quality and just make it more navigable on narrow single track trails. There's a lot of potential physics benefits for how the mechanism of the truck works and how it interacts with the turning and the rider and the deck and all that, but I think our primary here is to just make it work better on the single track trails that are around here.
And to stop kicking the wheels.
Yeah, definitely to stop kicking the wheels.
So I propose that we try to make it so that the outside of the wheel is flush with the deck. Just go for that. Just go straight for that.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't see any reason not to. I'm trying to remember why we made it this width to begin with.
Other than the fact that Dirtboard trucks are wide.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, well, they're wide. Well, I guess we'll do it that way. Not even thinking about it. Not questioning, just going with it.
Yeah. And since then, clipped my feet on these tires enough to realize how beneficial it would be to narrow them up.
All right.
So
let's get to it.
That's what we're doing.
So we just got to take it apart first, and then we're going to chop it and weld it, I guess.
Yeah. I still can't believe how smooth these trucks are. For just being a garage project, they are very believable.
Well, the shim's even cracked in half on one. It's like missing half the shim. Can't even tell.
We got a good thing going here. We just got to get her finished.
So we just have a bolt going into the hanger, and the hanger's just a square tubing with a nut welded on the end, and it seems we Loctited it pretty good.
Oh yeah, that ain't coming off. That's promising.
Yeah,
it's kind of the last thing you want to have happen.
So yeah, there's the hanger design for the axles, and we're just going to take it off a bit to make it a lot narrower.
Simple enough.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We're taking this many off each side. This is going to be a radical removal of material.
Yeah, radical little charger.
Yeah. But I'm convinced it's just going to make it work so much better.
Mm.
All the forces are going to be coming more towards the center of the deck. Whereas when you clip something with your wheel, it's going to force the board to want to turn. You know, the wider the axle, the more leverage that the dirt and the rocks and the debris that you're rolling over is going to interfere with the motion of the truck. So
and the more lined up it's going to be with your center of balance,
the more likely,
so that it doesn't tweak you around. You're able to use your weight to charge through it.
Yeah, and you'll just be able to weave it through tighter spots. But at least that's the thought.
Mm-hmm. We'll see.
Can always just make another
yeah,
one.
if not, I mean, take a look at these things. These.
Yeah, now I guess the only other thing is, I mean, is it easier to just make another one and save these so we've got a wide one for the museum? I mean, the slot was probably the most difficult thing to
I'm
do.
thinking, like, what are we going to do with the slot? We can do this right now, right here. Super easy. We can do the slot once I get the CNC thing going, right?
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I just want to make sure we don't lose a piece of the puzzle for the...
We'll just add another nut on.
Yeah. Whatever.
Okay, and we got this...
Reuse, recycle, right?
Yeah. And we got this sweet rig going up. I'm not sure where this came from, but I guess...
But I'm happy that it's here.
Yeah. So leave the line.
Yep, I'm cutting on the side with the little tack on it. So here, you can even take a look at it.
Yep, there we go. Perfect.
All right.
Lighter plugged in, it's ready to go.
We got lights.
Oh, he wants lights.
Lights are nice.
Speaking of lights, I looked up lights for your truck or your car.
Oh, nice. I was actually just thinking about that when I left at 4 o'clock this morning. I was like, I'm pretty sure a bunch of lights in this cold, dark car that I just scraped all the ice off the windshield on would improve my mental hygiene right now. At least I wouldn't be getting into a dark, cold, wet, icy, frozen car at 4 o'clock in the morning. At least it'd be a bright, sunshiny, cold, frozen, dark, outside car.
With heated seats.
With heated seats. That's a...
All you need is heated seats and bright lights.
Yep. Then mental hygiene goes from 0 to hero. Here we go.
So tiny.
I know. We're going into just regular skateboard truck country now.
Yeah. Is it even hot? Not really.
Yeah. It's probably because it's a nice, good, clean, sharp blade. There's a whole science to machining and cutting. A lot of the heat can be dissipated just in the chips that come off of the part.
So the more heat you stick into the chips, the less you leave behind on the tooling and on the parts.
Right. So there's a lot of importance on reading the chips after you've made a cut on something, because the coloring on the chips will give you an indication of how much heat is being generated in your cutting process, which can allow you to understand how dull or how sharp your cutting tool is and how fast it's traveling through the material that you're cutting. So it's good practice to look at the chips to determine what's going on with what you're doing.
There's chips. Yep, it's cutting.
It's cutting. Yeah, it's doing its thing. That is definitely an indication of stuff being cut.
So we're using this threaded rod to hold the nuts in place, and once we weld it, we'll just back the rod off. Or that's the idea. Hopefully, you didn't weld the rod to the nuts, did you, Riley?
I can promise nothing.
All right.
Yeah.
I mean, you're the welding inspector.
My biggest concern is I've got this big gap right here.
Yeah.
So, as soon as I try to fill that gap, it's just more likely to cause a big undercut. So it's better to have the tight fit up and try to fill that big gap. And this is easy. And this is a flux core welding process, which has the best penetration.
Gee, what's causing all that thick white fumes, Riley?
That would be zinc poisoning! Yay!
It's my favorite kind.
Kind that makes me go crazy. Alright, there's one. So we've made the troll board.
So stick it
Giant wheel.
Let's have the
on a
preview.
Narrow axle. So this goes like such.
Nice.
Nice and tight, almost the same width as the deck. I'm pretty sure is about 10 inches.
Yeah, this is a little undersized deck, but with a 10-inch deck, it'll be perfect.
The wheels clear the deck. That's good. It might get a little close to your feet here, but you know, it's all part of the experiment. So I think we've definitely accomplished something.
Yeah.
So now, would there be any benefit in putting some camber in the wheels? Is this a condition where camber does something?
I have no idea.
Well, anyway, one thing at a time.
Mm-hmm.
But this is significantly better in my mind. Having logged a fair bit of miles on this thing and wiped out and crashed and pulled gravel out of my arms and knees, I see this narrower axle and I anticipate good things happening.
We're really pushing the boundaries of what compact can be for wheels that big, too.
Yeah.
I mean, we're encroaching on your toe space. I mean, you can't get much smaller than this. It's not going to work.
No, but it'll force us to become innovative. You know, I can see a little bit of a wheel flare here and get a little fender going. So you'd be able to put your foot here, but it's because it would be articulating into the wheel.
Mm-hmm.
But it would give you a nice little pocket to lock your foot on.
Mm-hmm. Or at least lock it out from... Because it wouldn't need to be a full... It really just needs to be a little toe stop, right? Mm-hmm. Just a little... Yeah. So yeah, this is... I mean... I don't know, like, are there any other dirt boards that are like, oh yeah, we're compact, we're making small... Like, dirt boards are usually big and long, and, like, the wheelbase is like 10 inches longer than this thing on the original Ground Industries, isn't it?
Yeah, the Ground Industries boards were always big. The MBS, I saw them getting into more compact deck lengths, and I think it was because they were catering to a crowd that started doing freestyle and tricks. So they were jumping off of things and doing 360s and trying to spin and flip. So they needed a board that was lightweight.
Had a smaller moment of inertia to move around.
Right. So they were less concerned about the performance of it and making sure that your weight was over the wheels to get more aggressive carving and better ride quality. Instead, they were just more concerned with making the thing spin around underneath them and having less weight and inertia to deal with.
Hmm.
But who knows? It's the first one we've built, but we're eliminating weight, so I think that's another benefit here. It's trying to build the ultimate in ultra-light dirt boards.
All right.
So this is Longboard technology over and out.
Nice.